What's happening, YouTube? Figure I'd make another little video, a few projects going on. This right here is a 10 horsepower Sullair air compressor that I just bought for no money. Started breaking it down because we're going to do a little conversion. And there's the armature, miscellaneous parts. Guy got it out of a plant. It sat in his place for probably 2 or 3 years, maybe longer. The inside really wasn't bad. Couple little spots where there was some moisture mixed in with the oil. Another reason why I like to break things down 100% when I get them, even though if they run or whatever. This bearing in here, see if I can lift this up where you can see it. But missing a tooth. Was laying in the bottom of the case when I took it apart, and luckily it came out and it fell in the bottom of the case, and it never got in that gear. So it's crazy how big this thing is. It's huge tank, 10 horsepower, 3-phase. Has its own built-in cooler with a fan. Industrial, like, really doesn't even describe it. That's an aluminum housing that's on the back of it. It's got a pressure gauge in it. It's got a filtration system inside of it. Just like way beyond any compressor I've ever dealt with. So the biggest thing was, it was no money. I bought the thing for 200 bucks. If you look them up, they are about 10,000 right now for Sullair, 10 horsepower. I believe it's, the number's like a 6ES or something like that. So I bought it for 200 bucks, and I knew it was 3-phase, and I knew I could probably do something with the motor. Didn't really care, kind of one of those, I'm going to buy it, pick it up, and I'll figure it out on the back end. So that's what I did. I grabbed it, and it's been tucked away for, I don't know, maybe 6 or 8 months. I think I bought it in the spring, and it was time to get involved in it. We're getting ready to expand the shop and trying to get a few things done. But another score were these two motors right here. So the guy on Marketplace had this ball door 10 horse. It's the same RPM as that one, 1740. And a 5-horse ball door, which I bought 1 year ago when I bought my other compressor that was 3-phase, and I swapped out 5 horsepower single phase. And another unbelievable deal. To give you an idea, this 5-horse right now is going for anywhere between $750 and like 900 bucks. And the 10-horse, from what I've seen on eBay and a few miscellaneous places, they're going for about $2,000. So guy had an ad on Marketplace with a bunch of miscellaneous electrical stuff, the 10 horse, the 5 horse, some disconnects, few other panels, handful of small miscellaneous stuff, but had everything on there for 140 bucks. The guy is a electrical contractor. He's in the wire business. He had to buy a whole package to get the wire he wanted out of it, so this other stuff meant nothing to him. So when he was about a half hour from me, took a ride, and when I got up there, he was like, look man, just give me 100 bucks for everything. I just need to get it out of here and make some floor space. So I literally bought both those motors and the other stuff that I'm going to plan on giving, I'm going to give it away. But I bought everything for 100 bucks. So I'm in the compressor, 200, which is unheard of. I'm in that 10 horse ball door, probably like 20. So what I'm going to do is I broke it down and going to replace the bearings in it. Going to clean everything. Everything's going to get prepped, painted. There's really not a lot to it. There's a handful of bearings, and the part that makes the magic happen, and I don't know if you're going to be able to see it, but in there is the compressor itself. It's literally like 6 by 8 by 8. There's nothing to it. It's a screw drive, and I'm soaking it right now because it is froze up, and it's got a little surface rust on it. It's a real precise fit, kind of like the turbine on a turbo. And I'm going to soak it and free it up. I found a PDF file online that I'm going to look over a couple more times. I've just been breezing by it, just kind of getting some highlights, but I kind of figured out how to get it apart, and that's probably going to be tomorrow's project. Another main project for today is we're in the southeast and we've got this cold weather coming through, and we're looking at the teens tomorrow night. I built this shop heater about probably a year ago and had it tucked away in my garage. Originally, and I still can, made it a used oil burner because I've got about 80 gallons of oil I'm going to get rid of. But today was the day that I put in a stack all the way up through the roof with a cap. Don't have a flange for it, but I did seal it in with fire sealant caulk, which I don't know what it's rated to, but I had this thing. This thing right now is running me out of the shop. I've got no insulation in the shop and had the temp gauge on it, and it was running. The tank was like 580. It was cooking. So that was something that I got done today finally, and now it's going to be cold for the rest of the week. I need to put a handle on this door and a latch. Been opening it with an extended magnet all day. But it's in there and it's cooking. I don't even know what the temp is right now, but it's hot in here. We're going to be about probably 40 tonight. And so that was another big player. I can take this bench, all my benches are on wheels for the most part. Take this bench, roll it over. Had the heat at my back all day, 40 degrees out, really nice. Got a little stack of wood. We've had a ton of rain, so I brought in some wood, and even though it's wet, it's seasoned pretty well, and it's been burning great all day, not steaming. So I left that in here, and that'll get dried out, and I'll probably bring in some more tomorrow. But it's just been a few days of miscellaneous stuff I've been trying to get done. The safe is about ready. Got to rewrap the inside panels with the red velvet, and that'll be ready to go. Stove is done. Compressor is in the works. Another miscellaneous thing that I wanted to do was I've got this jet bandsaw. I've had it for a few years. I bought it at an auction for like 300 bucks. It's always done really well, but it was time to get cleaned up. Degreased it, washed it down, got all the stuff off of it, cleaned out the coolant box. I'm going to replace the hose on it, but put a new blade on it, adjusted all the rollers, oiled everything, and I also had a scrap piece of 1/4-inch aluminum that I bought a boat years ago, and it was under one of the seats, and I pulled it out when I changed the seats and didn't need it and threw it in the bin, and I've had that thing for probably 6 or 7 years. And out it came and got cleaned up, and I made a 12 by 12 table, so when you put it in the vertical position, you can use it like a regular bandsaw. So I'm sure somebody sells a kit. A lot of guys make them for porta bands, but I already put it on, tested it out, works great. So it's all these little things day to day that kind of help my life. A little more organization. Built another rack on the back of the welder, and so that's holding all the discs and cutoffs and pads and all that, and just kind of cleaned up the top a little bit. Had a few projects in and out of the shop over the last couple of days. Have a few more things to do. Oil change on the car tomorrow. Some work on my backhoe. And that's about it. Gates that these W's were painted. If you saw some pictures or from one of the last videos, 4x12 gates, those are installed, done. Customer's super happy. Got another one coming up, probably 5x12 or 5x14 with a big decorative piece in it. It's going to be a pretty cool build. So it's just another day, a couple days in the shop. Took some time off from the regular game and just kind of running out a list. Just all this little miscellaneous stuff that I've been putting off and things I wanted to move and jockey around. Now that the safe's ready to go, the English wheel's living over here now. And so yeah, it's amazing. If you do a little organization every day, move a few things around, find a home for things, and how much room you can free up. Just one of the things, even still, turning the 59 sideways like this in the shop, just basically freed up all this floor space, which I needed to do for the gate builds. But it's always something. Hopefully this compressor will move along pretty smoothly. I got to get all the numbers and order the bearings and all the little miscellaneous stuff. And the biggest thing is getting these rotors out of this housing. One of the things that we're doing here. So this compressor is 10 horse 3-phase. That is the armature out of the casing. And it's really a pretty simple setup. The shaft goes into the casing, it's pressed onto that gear, it's got a couple of bearings in it. Really that's about it. So what's going to happen here is that shaft is going to get cut off of that armature and everything will go back together. The end of the shaft, I'm going to mill it or turn it and mill it with a key slot in it, and it's going to get a coupling between that shaft and the shaft on the 10 horse ball door, and we'll put a mic on it and run it and true it up and make sure it's 100%, and that ball door will now run this compressor. Everyone you look at that's this size, they're all 3-phase. I don't think they ever offered one in a single phase. So I got lucky with the price of the compressor. I got lucky with the price of the motor. I also got lucky that that ball door motor is the same exact RPM, 1740, as the one that was on it. So at the end of the day, the compressor really doesn't know what's spinning it. The RPM is correct, and as long as everything's trued up and balanced and there's no vibration from one to the other, all I've really got to do is build a platform to put that motor on it, and we're going to run it, see what it does. Worst case scenario, we got to put a pillow block in it somewhere. Pretty minor stuff to get from A to B. We're going from, like I said, $10,000 setup to, maybe I'll be in the thing with bearings, everything to work. I might be in it maybe total $400 between the buy the compressor, buy the motor, buy of parts, whatever. So I don't know. This is what we've done for the last couple days. Got a few more things to do. There'll be another video coming up probably about a week from now. I want to do a walkthrough on the shop and do a little shop tour and stuff I've been talking about. And if this weather would finally clean out, this back wall here it's going to be gone. It's going to be pushed out 20 feet straight back, 20 by 50 addition. And then we could really start getting some stuff done. And I've got about a 2-page tool list that I'm looking to start scratching stuff off. We're going to do a big buy coming up. Getting set up to weld aluminum, JD2 or JD32 bender coming in, handful of other smaller stuff, and I'm gonna just level up on the fabrication game, and it's justifiable because of the work I can do with it, and the money I spend for the tooling will be recovered quickly on a couple of future builds coming up. So, but that's it for now, guys. Hope everybody's doing well. It's, I think today's the 20th or 21st. Christmas coming. Everybody better tighten up. Santa's on his way. And we'll make another video with this shop tour and a walkthrough and whatever coming up. And I'll talk to you guys soon. Hope you guys have a great Christmas, good holidays, good New Year's. Nobody do anything stupid. Don't end up on the news. Nobody get free bracelets. All the stuff. So, all right, guys. Talk to you soon. Enjoy.